welcome to our distinguished guests, respected faculty members, and students to this IEEE Comsoc distinguished lecture on emerging cybersecurity threats and current state of art. In a world where technology evolves faster than ever, discussions like these help us stay aware, informed, and ready to secure our digital future. To begin our program, let's start our morning with the recitation of Holy Quran. I would now like to invite Dr. Yasir Salim to kindly come forward for the recitation of Holy Quran.
इसका तो सबसे ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. صدق.
I would like everyone to please stand for the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. To officially open our event, I would now like to invite Mr. Kashif Bashir, Chair of IEEE Comsoc Lahore chapter, to deliver the welcome note. Please give him a big round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum and very warm welcome to everyone. Dear guests, respected teachers, students and friends. It is truly a prayer to welcome you all to the IEEE Communication Society distinguished lecture by Dr. Fatma Hussain, Adjunct Professor, Toronto Metropolitan University and Principal SAS and Security Architect at Royal Bank of Canada. We are deeply thankful to the IEEE Comsoc USA for approving this lecture under the distinguished lecture program and for providing 2300 USD in support of our travel and lecture at NUST, Islamabad, UET Lahore, the University of Faisalabad and Islamic University Bahawalpur. Today's session is titled The Emerging Cybersecurity Threats and Current State of the Art. It is being organized by the IEEE Comsoc Lahore chapter in collaboration with UET Lahore, ORIC Office, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Quality Enhancement Cell and Faculty and Staff Development Program UET Lahore. Before we begin, let's talk about the IEEE and IEEE Comsoc. IEEE is the world's largest technical professional organization to improving the technology for the benefit of the mankind. IEEE has over 330 local section and 486,000 members worldwide. And to create a more personalized and experience for our members, we provide activities and events that were customized to the requirement of our engineering and technical community. Since 1968, IEEE is present in Pakistan. We have three sections, Lahore section, Islamabad section, and Karachi section. And IEEE Lahore section has two subsections, Faisalabad subsection and Bahawalpur subsection. Now we talk about the IEEE Communication Society. IEEE Communication Society was founded in 1952, and later in 1972 it started its operation as the independent society of IEEE. IEEE GlobeCon and IEEE ICC are the major conferences of the IEEE Communication Society. Now, before I continue, I would like to play a short video message from Dr. Anna Gracia Armada, Vice President of Global Services at IEEE Comsoc, who has sent her greeting and best wishes for this event.
Hello and good day to everybody. My name is Anna Garcia Almada. I am the Vice President of Member and Global Activities of IEEE Communication Society, COMSOC. It is a great pleasure to greet you all attendees of this set of distinguished lectures. They are organized by the Comsoc Lahore chapter in three different venues, and I apologize if I'm not going to pronounce very well the names. The venues are Al-Kawazini Institute of Computer Science, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, the University of Faisalabad, and the Islamic University of Bahawalpur. The talk about emerging cybersecurity threats and current state of the art is presented by Dr. Fatima Uzain, a distinguished COMSOC speaker. Cybersecurity is a very important topic today, key for the successful acceptance of the communications technology that we are developing as a global community. I am sure you will learn and interact a lot around this timely topic and examine what are the future trends. I would like to very specially thank Dr. Kashif Bashir, the Comsoc Lahore chapter, for organizing these lectures and for his outstanding work. Enjoy the talk and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Anna. So today we will be signing two types of MOUs. The first type of MOU is between University of Lahore, UMT, Punjab University, Gary University, Comsat Lahore, and Dr. Fatma Hussain will sign this MOU. And this MOU is for the research and development and for the collaborations. The second type of MOU is for the AI Summit on Information and Communication Technology. You know, IEEE Comsoc is the founder of the AI Summit. So it will be signed between the Punjab University, UMT, and Gazian University. Once again, thank you all for being here today. Let us warmly welcome Dr. Fatma Hussain, and I hope this session inspire all of us to learn, grow, and work together for a safer digital future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kashif Bashir, for the opening words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Yasir Salim, Chair of IEEE Lahore section, to share his remarks with us.
Assalamu alaikum. I did not prepare any talk because I was not feeling well and I was thinking that how I will join the session. Then I came to know that even Dr. Fatima, she was not feeling well. First of all, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. And she was taking some medicine and also the trip last night, but still she managed, and we are thankful. About cybersecurity, I would like to just add that first time the course cybersecurity, network security introduced in UET, it was by me. I told the department that we should have this course at postgraduate level. That was about 2015 or 16. And there were many different talks that We do not have the code, we do not have any expertise, we do not have any special degree for that, but it was approved by the academic council and it was initiated by me. So whenever I hear something about cybersecurity, and now after these many years now, I think 2024, we started our cybersecurity program, and it is in our department, computer engineering department. So it is always nice to have someone coming from the abroad, and also Dr. Fatma will tell about her introduction in her talk. But it was so nice when I heard that she's coming and she's giving the lecture in UET about the cybersecurity. I am thankful to Kashif that mashallah he arranged so well that even our subsections were not deprived from there, and they were also involved in the whole session. आज की ख़ास बात ये है कि आज हमारे पास काफ़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डॉक्टर कामरान आबिद साहब, डॉक्टर महताब साहब, डॉक्टर ताहिर इलियास साहब और इसमें डॉक्टर फारूक साहब. These are the heads and deans of their departments in the different university, and they are here to sign the MOU. मैं इसमें ये बताना चाहूँगा कि it's not an easy thing कि आप किसी इंटरनेशनल लेवल के इतनी आला डिग्रीज़ के साथ और एक्सपीरियंस के साथ कि आप उनको पाकिस्तान में कॉल करें और उसकी टॉक दिलवा सकें. एंड आल्सो ये भी आसान नहीं है कि स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो इतनी इस तरह की टॉक्स में जो है वो पार्टिसिपेट कर सकें. अगर हम अपने एकेडमिक सिस्टम को देखें तो उसमें ऐसी प्रोविज़न ही नहीं हमें मिलती, बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. मेरा ख्याल है इसमें डायरेक्टर और की इन्वॉल्वमेंट और एक लंबा प्रोसीजर है. इन थैंक्स टू IEEE Lahore section and also whatever the concern, ये जो आपको 460,000 कि जो different researches all over the world, they are on one page. आप किसी को भी अपने IEEE के साथ, यानी if you email someone with your own email, Gmail or something, but if you email someone with yasir@IEEE.org, you get response, क्योंकि वो अमूमी तौर पर उससे कोलैबोरेट कर ही रहे होते हैं. तो दिस इज़ वेरी गुड प्लेटफॉर्म IEEE that you can get connected all over the world. और इसमें मैं दोबारा शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा डॉक्टर फातिमा का कि उनकी जो शौक़ था कि मैं अपने मुल्क में जाकर और अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में अल्मा मैटर में या मैं अपने मुल्क में जाकर मैं डिलीवर कर सकूँ, बिकॉज शी हैज़ लर्नड अ लॉट. यानी वर्ल्ड बैंक की साइबर सिक्योरिटी की टीम में आपका पार्टिसिपेट करना और उसकी रिसर्च और फ्रेमवर्क की डिज़ाइनिंग, दैट्स नॉट एन ईजी थिंग. इट टेक्स ईयर्स एफर्ट कि आप वहाँ पर जाकर इस लेवल में पहुँच सकते हैं. तो जो स्टूडेंट्स हमारे यहाँ पर आज मौजूद हैं उनसे मैं यही रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि दिस इज़ द वे कि आपने IEEE प्लेटफॉर्म और आपकी अपनी एकेडमिक्स, इनकी ज्वाइनिंग कोलैबोरेशन, इट विल बी हेल्पफुल कि ये आपकी फ्यूचर कैरियर के लिए बड़ा हेल्पफुल हो. Other than that, I am just thankful to all the distinguished guests sitting here कि आप लोगों ने माशाल्लाह इस इवेंट के सक्सेसफुल बनाने में आपकी पार्टिसिपेशन ही इस तालीम that we are getting on one page इंशाल्लाह. बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now comes highlight of our event, the distinguished lecture by Professor Dr. is a profiling. She has authored numerous IEEE papers, books, and industrial patents. Dr. Fatima Hussain also serves as an adjunct professor at Toronto Metropolitan University and continues to lead cutting-edge research in AI-driven cybersecurity and ethical technology. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Fatima Hussain for her talk on emerging cybersecurity threats and current state of art. Let's give her a warm round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here in my own university, from where I graduated, and above all, by looking at all the females that are sitting on the extreme corner at the back, that there are much more participation than I expected, because when I started, there were like 3 to 300, ratio of 3 females to 300 males. So it seems that we are progressing. So before I start, so Kashu sir, can you help me with the presentation? Okay, so before I start my talk, I just want to thank few of the institutions and few of the places which actually shaped my professional and personal career and journey. First of all, my city, Bahawalpur, from where I belong to. My school, from where I did my high school. UET Lahore, from where I did my bachelor's. Toronto Metropolitan University, from where I did my master's and PhD, and finally Royal Bank of Canada, where I work currently. So I want to thank all of these institutions which helped me to shape my professional journey. Is this working? Can you hear me from this or no? Okay, because I will be moving around. Okay. So before we start, I just want to give you the very basic definition of cybersecurity, because maybe people don't know what it is. So how we define a cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is any process, technique, technology that is used to protect the systems, data, networks, and the main objective is to keep the integrity, confidentiality, and security. So this is cybersecurity in a nutshell. It covers all the aspects of what type of the asset you're trying to secure and what types of the techniques you're using. So this is the glimpse of my talk. Just touch upon the nuts and bolts, what is the basics of the cybersecurity, recent security challenges and trends. I will touch upon the insider threat and contextual security, which is my research area, previous research area, and then the cloud and the SaaS security. And a little bit touch upon the generative AI, because that's nowadays the talk of the town. Gen AI, LLMs, and ChatGPT, and all those things. Before we start, again, from the cybersecurity background, this is a cyber awareness slide. Give it a second to, sorry about that. Give it a second to read that. So the virus was contained in the email that was sent out as an awareness email. So you have to be very careful when clicking on any of the link or the emails that come to you, because it might contaminate your computer or the systems, or can steal any data from your systems if you are in a very high confidential data systems. This is another cyber awareness slide. Usually you have done, I used to do the same when I was studying, that for the student you get 10% off or 20% off, or you get a free pizza slice. I used to do the same thing and share the email address or the name or the phone number, and they collect your data, and then they use that data for modeling, statistical modeling for any regional or racial assessments. So be very careful with sharing your personal data with anybody, because you don't know where it will be being used or how it will reflect on you in the future. So you need to be very careful. So these were the two of the cyber awareness slides. So let's talk security. So there's two different perspectives about security. One is the academic perspective. Another one is the industrial perspective. So academic perspective is that you think about the access control, you think about the authentication, you think about that integrity of the data should be maintained and availability is there. And if somebody is doing the research in actually the academic research, they will think about developing the algorithms, how you can improve these processes. But the actual story in industry is different. They don't care about that how precise you develop an algorithm that will increase the precision or accuracy to 0.001% or increase by 90% or all that. Industry doesn't care about that. Industry works on the NIST standards. NIST is a National Institute of Security Standards. And they are based on the 5 pillars. Reason I'm telling you all this, that you should know that what are the things you should focus if you want to get to the industrial jobs in the cybersecurity. So it is based on these 5 pillars. Identify your assets. What is your valuable asset you want to protect? An asset could be anything. It could be system, processes, networks, your data. How to protect that? You need to conduct the awareness trainings, data security, network security. Third one is detect. You need to monitor and detect any of the anomalies or the incidents that are happening. Respond, how you respond to that. How quickly you get back the network to be operational or your system to be operational. And recover is coming back to the normal operations, and at the same time, how you protect in the future that thing shouldn't happen. Is it producing some echo, or you're able to hear me well?
Okay.
It's okay? Okay. So you can see industry is more focused on the NIST standards and also focused on securing your systems with the threats, while the academic research is based more on the working on the algorithms or developing the algorithms based on authentication, authorization, and so on. So the old thinking for the cybersecurity is that if you need to protect the information or need to protect the data or the asset, and you just isolate that. It's just like that if you have some valuable asset and you put it into the safe and put it locked inside the room, there are less chances somebody will reach there, but at the same time, you're not using it. So this is the old thinking that you secure your asset by isolating it. But the new, or the evolved thinking is that you want to use that, you are not isolating it, but you're protecting it going from the mission critical applications, and also think about the context for that. And how do you operate from the failure? So that's the cyber resilience. We will talk about in a bit. Also, very important, the application context. For example, if you have a diamonds with you, definitely you will protect it in a different way rather than to having a silver with you. So it depends upon how important that asset is for you. So if you look at this side, this is security, and that side is the productivity. Again, I'm coming from the industrial perspective. Imagine I give you an example, like 2 years before, when there was a GPT models and generative AI and the LLMs in the horizon. The very first thing our bank did, they blocked all the access, because of course if you are sending out data to any of the model, you are leaking that information. But later on, we developed our own gateway and we started using it. So the productivity was increased. So that means you need to find out the middle ground. It's not that you protect and you're making it secure. No. The important thing is you find the middle ground, you're still securing your assets, but at the same time, you are making use technology, you are benefiting from that, and you're finding the middle ground for it. So keep these things, these are the basics which I'm trying to build to, to give you more information about the security. That's being said, so we brag about this thing that we live in a global, connected, cyber-physical world. What is the meaning of that, the global, cyber-physical world? Every second we are connected. I mean, you have a smartwatch, you have everybody carrying the two phones or one phone with three different SIMs, and even the smart home concept is evolving in Pakistan as well. So we say every time we are connected. Then there's Internet of Things. We see many of the devices which are connected to the network. We have different social media networks. I have just listed the old ones because I'm old school of thought. I'm sure there are like hundreds of new social media platforms which you guys might be using. So what is happening? No matter we are connected, we know every single thing by the touch phone. We just open up and see the share stock market. We see the movies. We see what the neighboring countries are doing. We see what is going on and what Tesla, what is the stock of the Tesla and what not. What is the fashion industry doing? But at the same time, we overlook the innovation versus vulnerabilities. So what is an innovation? Anything new that is facilitating our life, improve the quality of the life. What is a vulnerability? Vulnerability is the weakness. For example, I was sick yesterday, so I was vulnerable to more germs. That's weakness. In terms of the computer systems, if you connect like 5 different devices to the network, that means you're opening 5 different threat vectors for your system. So you're making your system more vulnerable. More phones, and don't think that I'm against the phones or the technology. I'm just trying to tell you, the more technology you use, more vulnerable you are for the hacking and the security breaches. Okay, what else? Because of that cyber-physical world, we have these issues. We have so many of different types of the data sources. You're downloading the pictures, you have the videos, you have the data, you have so many different types. You have unstructured data, you have structured data, so much going on. Data sources are different. Attacks, we'll talk about it. There are different types of attacks which come in the market which we never heard about back in 10 years before, even 5 years before. Mindset of attackers is also changed. So you see there are so many different factors that are making the vulnerabilities to be more stronger. Attacker mindset. If you have watched movies, English movies in 90s back in 2000, you would have seen there is a hacker who is wearing black hoodie and sitting in the basement and he's trying to steal and hack. That's the old kind of a hacker, I would say. Now we have so many different types. And these are for real. And they have actual practical breaches happening. I'm not going to go to the specifics. I don't want to mention any names. But there are militaries which are developing the cyber weapons. Governments are doing it. are strange environment in which we need to secure ourselves, our systems, our data, or our assets. So this is what I have talked so far. So these are the key trends, cybersecurity key trends. People are working on it. And it's industry is looking for these things. For example, the very first thing I want to touch upon is the growing IT skills gap and soft skills demand. The way the technology is advancing, the same way the universities are not popping up. Even in North America, now they're looking, for example, the prompt engineering. Nobody ever heard about the prompt engineer. Any idea what is prompt engineering? Anybody? Okay. So it's the way you want to talk to the LLMs. You want to write some statements or the questions, the way you write the questions to get the specific answer, that's the prompt engineering. So 2 years before, we were looking for the prompt engineer from that market, and we couldn't find anybody because it is not taught as a course in itself, or not even a certification course over there. Same way. Is it me? Same way, generative AI that is being used. It is helping us. We'll talk about it and how it is helping us with the cybersecurity, but it is also doing the backfire. Gen AI people are using, if you heard about the deepfakes is that you mimic the person, you take the picture, you feel like the person is sitting and actually it's not that person. I mean, it happened in our team that we were interviewing for some position, and the person was on the computer, and actually it was not a computer, it was not a person, it was a bot. So imagine the people are so smart that they were coming for the interview, job interview, and it was a bot. So every time he was answering the question, it was very streamlined, a very perfect answer, which humans usually pause and, they do, okay, what is this? The bot wasn't doing. So but our system detected it, and now we mandated that, okay, you have to be in person, no matter you're living in US, East Coast, you have to come to the office to do the interview. So I'm just telling you that how much the technology is advanced, and we are copying up. So the cloud services, the way when everything in the COVID time, when everything became virtual, even before that, the most of the softwares, most of the applications were on the cloud. But after that COVID, we went virtual. And more applications are run as a software as a service. We'll talk about it in a bit, what is software as a service. And that actually gives the weakness to the system, no matter it gives the ease, but it gives the weakness to the system. And lots of research is going on that how you can make I'm sure that you guys have heard about Tesla, the self-driving car. I'm not sure it is available here in Pakistan or no. Okay. So if you have ever experienced that somebody locked out of the car, the key is not working, the app is not working. So what happened? Somebody just hacked. So imagine you're standing by the car and you cannot get into your own car because you need to pay money to get to your own car. So basically these are the computers on the wheels. If you see the interior, it's just one screen showing, and you can do everything on there. So that's another thing, and lots of research That's not my area, so I'm not touching more upon it. Lots of research is going on how you can make those cars to be secure. Zero trust cybersecurity. What is zero trust or zero trust networks? No idea? What is the meaning of zero trust? Zero trust means you don't trust anybody. It's just like when I grew up, my mother wouldn't trust whatever I say. She will just verify first what I'm saying is correct, and then she will trust me. So this is zero trust. And zero trust networks are those networks that you re-authenticate every single time you time it, or with change of the event, you verify. Zero trust cybersecurity is also evolving. Probably you've heard about it or not, but people are working on it. So they're working on those threats which never happened before, but you are making your system to be strong so that that breach or that incident shouldn't happen. So this is another area in which the research is going on. Social engineering attacks. Probably you experience more being in Pakistan. There are so many of the social, like fake accounts going on, fake news going on. And every single day from that Peak Assert program, they are sending out these cyber aware messages on the phones. And social engineering attacks are the worst attacks because the source is not defined. And before even the source is defined, that information or the false information has been circulated in the entire country. So that means there's a lesson there that before you actually trust any information and you say this is correct, find the source of it. If the source is legitimate, that means then the news is good or not. So this is another area in which people are looking into how you control and how you can tag all the not only the Twitter accounts or the Instagram accounts, any social media account, how you can tag with a single identity so that you are able to identify the person who is doing bad things. Multi-factor authentication. Any idea what is multi-factor authentication? Have you ever experienced that? Yes. That you first enter the password, maybe it will ask for the PIN, then maybe ask the security question, so that's a multi-factor authentication. And people are working on to the face IDs, but because of the deep fakes, even the face ID is not working. It is not considered as to be the strong multi-factor authentication phenomena. Even the voice, because people just fake the voice. So there's more research going on how you can combine all of those factors to have a stronger authentication mechanism. Rise in the insider threat. I will touch upon this, so I'm not talking right now about this thing. Mobile cybersecurity. Most of the businesses, like I can see, not only the food business, but there are different businesses that are moved onto the mobile phones. And the mobile phones are the smaller phones and not very strong security mechanism on that. Same is true with the IoT devices. They don't have a strong security mechanism installed there. So that's still, I mean, with the advent of the 5G plus 6G, people are talking about it. They are increasing the connectivity or the speed with which the devices can be connected, but they are not focusing on the security of it. So that's another paradigm too. This is a very important concept to understand. Cybersecurity to cyber resilience. What is cyber resilience? What is the meaning of resilient? Resilient means कुछ भी हो जाए फिर से खड़े हो जाओ. That's the resilience. ठीक है? So this is resilience. How quick you can get back or recover to your normal. This is resilience. So cybersecurity is not just, the concept is not that the incident has to happen. चीज़ों को control नहीं कर सकते. You cannot protect 100%. So the incident will gonna happen. But how you design your systems that if any incident or the breach happen, how quick you can get back to the normal operations. So that's the cyber resilience. So the change or the shift is from security to resilience. So maybe you never know, like in 2-3 years time, cybersecurity, the name is gone, and now you are left with the cyber resilience. That how strongly you can come back and how much you can protect the system for the future for the same type of attacks. Okay, so these are the trends, recent trends. Let's focus on to the two of the very important areas which I was working in, and so I will talk about those. User behavior and insider threat. So what is an insider within the organization? This time, like we used to say, andar ka banda tha, usne kuch leak kar diya. Okay, how do you find out the andar ka banda? How do we find that? How do you find that insider? So imagine like I belong to a financial institution that is more than 100,000 employees worldwide. And how would you know that that critical person sitting in Toronto office is the person who is stealing data? So it's a very hard problem to solve. So what is the way out for that? You start profiling the people. Again, due to the Privacy Acts, which are not fully observed in Pakistan, but in North America, they have certain regulation, the privacy laws and rules, that you cannot trail or you cannot follow or trace any individual. Kisi bhi bande ki IDs, you cannot follow. You are violating the Privacy Act. So how do we behavior profile? So this slide is just showing who are the insiders. These are the employees, visitor consultants, and they might end up stealing the data or doing some harm to the institution, any kind of the institution, because of the financial greed, anger, excitement, divided loyalties. Sometimes the training is not done so well, so they don't know what they're doing, or maybe it's a human error. So these are the insiders. But how do you find out that somebody is involved in the bad activities? So the way we did it is we started profiling different roles, not the people. For example, if it's a security architect, what his role requires, what type of the privileges and accesses. If somebody is a financial advisor, what type of roles the person might be doing. If somebody is CEO or somebody is senior director, what type of the role. So from there, we try to find out what is normal for that profile. And if something happens unusual than the normal behavior, then we find out that maybe there's something wrong. It's just like, again, coming back to parents' example, parents know what the child is capable of doing. If somebody is sleeping every day, sleeping at 9 p.m., and for a couple of nights, the boy or the girl, they're sleeping at 12 p.m., so that's an abnormal behavior. Parents assess that. So they will look, okay, is there exam? Ya vaisi wo TV pe baitha hua tha. So, but again, this is an anomaly. So whoever has worked in anomaly detection, probably they will say that there are so many of the false positives. How would we know that this unusual behavior is bad or not? So the contextual security is another term that comes to the picture. What is contextual security? Contextual security is that all the anomalies, not necessarily unusual behaviors, not necessarily are bad. Maybe it is because of that circumstances that was happening. For example, if somebody is sitting late, maybe he has an exam tomorrow, and that's why he's sitting late. Same is true, for example, in tax season in March and April in North America. What happens? That lots of the email correspondence goes on from the financial advisor with the client. So for example, if financial advisor is sending out on normal 20 emails on average a day, but in the tax season, the guy is sending out 60 emails. So we track those things to find out that why it went from 20 to 60. And if it went from 20 to 60, what was the size of the emails that were sent out? If it's a text season, okay, that's fine. He's talking to the clients. But if it's not, that means something else is going on. So I tell you one of the incident that happened. Um a person was contractor, and he was it was the last day for his contract. So right at 4 p.m., he sent out, I think, 70 or 80 emails after a regular interval, and the size was under 10 MB. So maybe he was chopping off. So it definitely tells he's chopping off the information, attaching a few things, and then sending it out. उससे गलती ये हुई कि वो regularly भेज रहा था, like every 5 minutes. So we had that security control that sees that what is the interval between the consecutive emails from a person. So we identified, and so there was definitely an anomaly. And then we look at different things. It was a contractor. It was a last day for the person. So इसका मतलब है कुछ चल रहा है, कुछ गलत हो रहा है वहाँ पे. So he's trying to seal that up. Now the problem happened that he was based in Europe. Europe has another privacy act, that is the GDPR, Global Data Protection Regulation. Under that GDPR, we cannot touch anybody unless we have a valid reason to do so. We have to give the support. So we were talking to the people over there that this guy is involved, and they were like, okay, first you have to prove that who tracked our person. So we need to prove that it was the model who tracked, it was not any person. Anyways, it took like 5 days, working days to convince them that this guy was involved in something. And when they were convinced, then the guy went to the investigation team, or actually he was stealing data. So you imagine there's so many different things. The context we fit with the picture. It was the last day for the person, it was a contractor. He was sending out emails, chopping off certain sizes, and so on. So that is the real example of the contextual security. And afterwards, that person went to prison, was for lawsuit hua, he has to, I don't know how much money he has to give. And he was stealing data for another bank. So there are so many of the factors over there. Anyways, so this is a very busy slide. You don't need to know all of this. This is just, जो मैंने आपको अभी example बताया, it's step by step that example. You detect an anomaly. It could be an unusual login location. It could be unusual time. It could be unusual frequency, anything. And then you add a context to it. If the context tells that this is a bad thing, then it is actually an incident. So the contextual security is the biggest technique to reduce the false positive in any anomaly detection. If any one of you is working on the anomaly detection technique, they would know that false positive is a problem. Okay, let's switch the gear a little bit. So we talked about insider threat, and again, coming back to the growing IT skill gap. This insider threat job is the combination of data scientist, it's a combination of architect, it's a combination of the security analyst. So when we were trying to find a person who can run this insider threat job, we couldn't find a person. So there were like so many of the applicants, we interviewed so many, but this is so what I'm trying to tell here is that due to the advancement in technology and due to the type of the threats we see, we don't see the labor or the job profile ready for those jobs. And even now, probably you won't see many of the jobs even advertised. Very few jobs advertised, but I can foresee like in 3, 4, or 5 years' time, there will be so much of the insider risk or threats jobs in the market. Okay. Challenges and risk for the SaaS security. Again, it's so many of the points. I just put very important ones, and in itself, all of these are the applied research areas. And we face the problems on each of this. Starting with first of all, what is SaaS? Software as a service? Do you use SaaS in your daily life? What is that? Microsoft Office you use, so that's SaaS. Web apps you use, that's SaaS. Zoom meetings you do is SaaS. So basically what happens that instead of developing an infrastructure and creating the entire application yourself, providers like, for example, we talk about Microsoft Office, we talk about Amazon, they develop some certain applications, so infrastructure is theirs, but you are just using those services. But what happens is a lack of control because everything is controlled by the vendor or the provider. You have very less control in that situation. If something is down, then you're there. Your clients are down. Imagine if any of our branch is down. So any of the platform you're using is down. So most of the applications we develop ourselves, but we use the big vendors like Amazon or the Microsoft and Google for their cloud services. We have our own cloud, but that is used for the secure services. For the less secure one, we rely on Amazon or the Google. So the control goes out of our hand. We are dependent on that. So we are trying to find a way that most of the control is ourselves. Either we build it, or either we create some security controls that can give control back to us. Insecure APIs. What is an API? Application Programming Interface. What is that? So whenever there is a conversation about the applications or the SaaS, API is a very important concept. These are plugins, or this is a way, is a password or token, in simple words you can say. You connect to the application, give your passwords, and you are connecting a wire, just soft wire you're connecting. So more wires you're connecting, more vulnerable your system is, because you're increasing the vector or dimensions of the threat. So this is another problem. Third-party integration. Third-party integration is we rely on our own developed applications, but at the same time, if small industries, they don't develop by themselves. They depend upon the third parties to give different things. It's the same thing if you get the catering done from somebody. If you're cooking at home, you have a control on that. You will cook what you like, you see what spices that person is giving. You want it 7 p.m., you will get it at 7 p.m. But if you get the catering, you don't know what type of the spices that person is putting in. Maybe it's a substandard. Maybe the 7 p.m. was a dinner time and the catering person come to your house at 8 p.m. So that's the third-party integration management is another problem. That how we integrate, and I'm giving you a very simple example, but actually the integration is from the technical perspective. How the APIs are connected, how the tokens are maintained, who is bringing the key, what type of the encryption is there. So all of that comes under that. Misconfigurations, probably you've heard about in 2021, the Facebook has a breach that the videos and the pictures were leaked out. It was because of there's one misconfiguration of some security engineer misconfigured the API. So all the pictures were gone out. So that's another problem. So let's go to this one. I'll talk about disaster in a bit. Regulatory compliance, which probably it's because when I started working over there in North America, before that, I never heard about the regulations and compliance or standards. We used to live in Pakistan with a free country, we can do ourselves. Unfortunate thing is we don't follow so much of the regulations. Not on our personal level, not on our higher levels. So I never thought about their standards, and what is the meaning of the ITU, what is the meaning of the PIPEDIA, what is the meaning of GDPR and all. But the compliance, regulatory compliance is a very, very important thing. For example, I was talking about example while upstairs I was sitting with distinguished professors. There was, imagine we built a system that was for the mortgage. And somebody who designed the system, he put some caveat and language in that, in the model, that if the person is from certain origin, I will not say the name which origin, but it was not Pakistan for sure, but in certain origin, there was a negative, constant negative number was attached to that. So that means whenever that origin, the people from that origin will apply for the mortgage, always the score will be given low. So when the auditor came to us and auditing the system, they audited the model as well. And when they audit the model, they pick upon that very small thing, that why that people from that particular nationality or origin, they are graded with a constant negative number. And then we were audited on that, and then we changed and all those things. But regulatory compliance is a very important and sensitive topic. So people don't know, I touched upon it so that you should know that's very important. And sometimes we overlook that. Disaster recovery. Disaster recovery is something bad happens, how you will recover from that problem. So there's a disaster recovery management system, how strong, for example, if your net is down, internet is down, how quick you can recover your internet. So it's just a simple example of the internet. Imagine the whole system is down and billions and trillions of dollars are on stake if it's not working well. Okay, so this was the SaaS security. Okay, Gen AI. What is Gen AI? Everybody know the term. They're using the term, but what exactly is that? Generative AI, what does it do? What is AI? What is ML? So what is machine learning? Capability of learning without explicit programming. Artificial intelligence, capability of imitating intelligent human behavior. So AI is a broader term, ML falls under that. How do you take it with an example? For example, object detection. This example had been being used many times, some Asian examples. This is machine learning. Autonomous car is artificial intelligence. What's the difference? Any system that is capable of mimicking the human cognitive skills, that's AI. What is human cognitive skills, which God has given us? Anyone? Thinking, problem solving, language understanding. So these are the cognitive skills, few of the cognitive skills which Allah has given to us. So their artificial intelligence is actually mimicking those cognitive intelligence, the same way as you see the GPT or the LLMs, what they're doing. They infer certain context or the data, and then they create new data. So that's a human skill, which we try to build in the system. Okay, so there are a couple of, again, I added this slide just to give you an idea that what different forms of the AI people are calling or looking into. Applied AI, we are familiar for this. Okay, we do different types of malware detection, object recognition, neural networks, NLP. So this is all applied AI. AGI, the artificial general intelligence, is something any system who can do as good as a human can do. This is AGI. Strong AGI, AI, or the super AI is something that machines will be able to do those things which human cannot do. So that's the future. So still experimenting. They're clones of different people. You see many famous personalities. They never admit that they're clones, but the speculation is actually their clones are working. They're not humans. We don't know, but maybe they are. Now what happens when it is going to happen? That machines will be able to solve those problems which humans cannot do. Maybe that will be the end of the world, or God knows when. But the ultimate point is to reach here. So there's a myth about it that the AI will eventually replace humans. So far we are not to the point. Will it do it or not? I have no idea. But I wanted to tell you that these concepts exist. If you come to know about, read these words, terminology, you should know what is it about. Okay. So these are the few of the examples. You see that these are the few of the programs: the Super AI, MetaMind, DeepMind, Good AI, Blue Brain project. These are all the projects that are moving towards the SAI, or the strong AI concepts. So anyone who is interested in, I don't know how many people are sitting there who are interested in cybersecurity or not, but this is a slide. It lists different research areas. Again, on the left side are the NIST standards. I'm going from the applied research in cybersecurity. So these are the areas in which the research is going on, and in which way. If someone is interested in that, they can reach out to me afterwards. But I just included that, that this is what the research is going on. So how much time I have, Kashif sir? I can go ahead? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's have a good definition of generative AI. What is this? Y is equal to fx. Yes, so it's a simple linear equation. That output is the function of the x is the input. Okay? So when we talk about the generative AI, so see the difference, what the difference is. So on the top one, you see that's the AI. We have data, we have certain labels. It goes to the predictive ML model. That model will see the relationship between the data and the labels, and it creates the new labels. For the generative AI model, we have an input. It finds out the patterns in the content. That's what it does. And it creates a new content. So that's the difference between the ML AI and the Gen AI. Generative AI is creating a new content based on the patterns which it recognizes within the input. While the ML, it takes the data and the label, it finds out the new labels from there. It does not generate new data. So this is the situation. For the ML, you need to do the model building. For the Gen AI, you use the foundational models. You don't create a model. You are using the foundational models which exist. And you use those models to create the new data. So if somebody wants to understand what's the difference, you can tell that this is used to create the new data by using or incorporating the foundational models. So a debate always goes on that generative AI is your friend or your enemy. So by the way, what is Gen AI? Gen AI is used to create the new data from the old one. That's Gen AI. Maybe you're more familiar with the Chat GPT because that's the application we're probably using. Is it good or bad? We say that it's really good. It helps us in so many different things. It's used in threat intelligence. What is a threat intelligence? Again, it's a huge, vast topic which I'm trying to squeeze into this 1 hour thing. Maybe it's overwhelming for you, but I need to give you the important terms so you know what are those. What is threat intelligence? Threat intelligence is a science or the skill of your system to identify the threat which actually didn't happen. So you're trying to investigate something which didn't happen. That's a threat intelligence. It is also used in malware analysis. What is malware? Malware is a virus that gets to your system and then it spreads out and then everything is down. Anomaly detection. Anomaly detection to find out the unusual behavior of your systems, of the processes, anything. Threat detection. What is threat detection? To detect if there is any threat is there, so it is used for that too. Incident response. What is incident response? That's the cybersecurity cell which was built by the Prime Minister and in collaboration with NUST. What is instant response? Instant response is that if some incident happened, how quick you will respond and how quick you can recover from that and how quick you learn a lesson that particular problem never happens again. So that's the instant response cell, which is now, I think it has been 3 years now that it has been developed by government of Pakistan. And it encompasses everything like the social engineering things and the cyber attacks and all of that. So that's the incident response. Then this is a vulnerability management. It's like if the weakness in the system, how you can improve that. Okay, so this is as a friend. Gen AI is helping us. Okay. If it's not a friend, what it will do to us? You cannot even imagine what it will do to us. So there are so many of the, okay, let me just put it over here. For few of you, things must be overwhelming, but I need to give you the information. That's why I have included these. This is a generative adversarial networks, GAN. There are certain attacks. If you haven't heard about it, don't worry about that. It can also lower the barriers for the less sophisticated attackers. Means if somebody doesn't know how to hack, you can just type and ask the Gen AI, okay, I need to hack to this system, this is the model, this is the make, this is the software installed, how can I hack into it? So it will tell you how to do it. It will give you all the steps. So it's easier for the people to learn to do bad things. Malware, they can create a malware code and they can actually tell you to inject in a certain place so that the system is compromised. Spear phishing, what is a phishing? Phishing is sending out the emails. The one I showed you in the I think it was second slide, I showed you that you have to be very careful when you're clicking on any of the links that come to you through the email. And spear phishing is targeted phishing for the CEOs or CTOs of the big companies, so that moment they click, the moment the entire system is compromised. Misinformation, hallucinations, they do the prompt. The very, very tricky and notorious attack is the prompt injection. The question or the statement you give it to the LLM to give you the answer, actually they contaminate that question, so the answer is in a way that can affect, they give you a different answer, hallucination. This is one of the most problematic thing when we deal with the LLMs. The type of the answers they give, it is from everywhere. It's not necessarily that somebody has prompt injected it, it's because of the way the model is trained. And deepfakes. So deepfakes are, again, they mimic. So our team, what they do, so there was an announcement in the news channel. So our CTO was talking about something. Actually, it was a deep fake, so our team created that, and then after 2 days, they announced that this was a bot we created for the CTO. So imagine, we don't know who is who now. So Gen AI can do all of these bad things. So future of cyber operations, cyber ops. So it's the person, then the person, the AI, and this is just the AI. So this is people working for it. Maybe that's the end of the world. I don't know. Okay. So few of the important concepts I want to give you quickly. I wish I had more time. But so what we conclude here, we conclude that ML and AI are not the silver bullet, and they are not going to solve everything for us. So things will be unsolved for sure. But there is something that always be there. People think that AI will replace humans, but that's not the case. Why that's not the case? All of the ML or the AI models or any type of sophisticated techniques you think of, they miss the context. If you see, there's an elephant, and different people are viewing the elephant from the different sides, and everybody has a different perspective for it. The person over there sees the trunk, the other person sees the ear, this person sees the beak. So all the ML or the AI models, they only can tell those things on which either they are trained or either they have seen. Moment you change the context, things either they get confused. For example, if you use even GPT-4, oh that was, and another one is the Claude, which is the recent one. If you ask any question, it will give a very good answer, but if you go to domain-specific questions, we use it for our automation purposes, it will not give you the correct answer. You need to give the Claude model even, the context, that what I'm looking for. So that means it will always be X-centric, where X is a human. Human is not going to go away from the AI or the MLs. And the explanations and the context, that's only given by the humans. I will give you an example. If there is for example, if there's a surgery that is done by human, and even the surgery is not successful, the human will give you each and every detail of what went wrong, and even it will tell you the human expressions as well, that this is what happened. But if the robot is giving you the surgery, it will give you that only the numbers. Blood pressure was low, the heart failed, the number go up and down, and all those things. So that means, then again the question comes, it's an ethical question. You will trust the robot or you will trust the human. But the explanations which either you build, those systems which can give you the explanations, or either you rely on the humans. So I will just take more 2 minutes. Okay. So there's a concept of XAI. We say X-centric AI, or we call it explainable AI. So research is going on that you develop those AI capabilities that can actually give you the explanation. Then why did it do that? Why the model said that the simple example of mortgage being denied to XY person, why it happened? Or if the person died during the surgery, what was wrong in that? Same way we work on the insider thread. We need to find out why the person was bad. So the AI should be capable enough to give you the explanation. That's called the explainable AI. That's another thing that people are working on. Again, this is a busy slide. Don't worry about it. Only thing it says is the stakeholder, depending upon what type of the explanation you're looking, who is looking for the explanation. If it's a data scientist who's looking for explanation, he will look for explanation to improve the model. If it's an auditor who is looking for explanation, he will look for that, does the answer or the output of the model was justified, fair or not. So they're trying to make such systems that can vary or define the explanation according to the stakeholder. So imagine that it's again the capability of human. If you're talking to your parent, you will talk in a different way. If you're talking to a friend, you'll talk in a different way. If you're talking to a teacher, you talk in a different way. But the ML or the AI model doesn't know. So they're trying to develop such capability that the way to talk or explain should be according to the person or the stakeholder in question. Okay, so I think one or two more slides. I'm sure everybody must be sleeping, or maybe it's interesting for you or not. Okay, fairness. Have you heard about the ethical AI, fairness? What is the fairness? What is ethical AI? What is the meaning of ethics? According to certain rules and regulations, it fall under the character or certain standards of humanity, and that's ethics. And ethical AI is that AI should be used in a way that is not harmful for the humanity in any way. Any decisions that are made, they are fair. I give you the example that a data scientist actually wrote a code for specific people from certain origin, and there was a negative modeling. So it was not fair for those people. So fairness is important, but the problem is that fairness, there are biases in people, in our social system. So any biases that are present in our social system will translate to the biasing in the models as well. For example, a very simple example that always the doctor has to be, for example, a female cannot be an engineer. Okay, that's also a bias. Nurse should be a female. Doctor should be a male. Even you look at the translations, they will say the male has to be an engineer. Okay, nurse has to be the female. So this is a very simple, like low-level kind of the bias. And if you see, like when I started my engineering, people were like, okay, this is no profession to go for. Go for the medical. Even when I did that FSC, it was like, I think 500 or 600 girls they were doing for the pre-medical, and there were, I think, 3 for the pre-engineering, and only 1 I wanted to be in engineering university. The rest of the 2 wanted to do masters in double maths and physics and all that. Because it's a bias we carry. So imagine these biases are translated to the systems as well. So whenever we are designing something, we need to be careful about the bias. Are we translating those biases to our systems? Because the decisions output will be also like that. So this is another term, or this is another area people are working on, the XAI explanations, generated explanations, and the ethical AI. So takeaways. Again, there are lots of opportunities in threat intelligence, offensive security, proactive security, cyber deception. What is cyber deception? Have you heard about a honeypot? Okay, cyber deception is that you create certain environment that you deceive the attacker. The attacker thinks that this system could be easily compromised, and it attacks the system. So what we get out of that? Because of the cyber deception, we secure our other important systems, but the attacker is busy compromising the system that we actually created. It's just like a trap we create for the mouse trap or those type of the traps. So that's a cyber deception. So this is a simple example, but actually it's very technically complex phenomena, but people are working on that too. Okay, so we are not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we are trying to make the existing wheel efficient, and we require the expertise from the security and machine learning. So future thinking, these are the few of the key areas in which industry is looking for. Maybe it is not defined the way it is defined in North America, it's not defined the way in Pakistan, but this is the future. AI-driven SOCs, SOCs is a security operations centers, AI-powered threat hunting, explainable AI, autonomous security systems that are autonomous in a way they don't need any human intervention, and they learn from this environment and they are automatically securing itself. Trainable and interpretable large language models and small language models. And that's pretty much it. So this is a slide I've added for the research programs in Canada, which Pakistani universities can benefit from. So I'm not sure if you've heard about the MyTech. MyTech is specifically, if you go to the link, just search this out, MyTech Global Research Internship. So there are a couple of universities which I found over there were those. And so the students, there are so much of the participation, students and also the professors, they give you 10 months or 2 years of the research funding as well. And so you will see that you pick upon the Pakistan and then it will list all the universities. Another one, the answer is also, so there's a collaboration between the university in Canada with any of the universities in Pakistan, so they have another list there. I have also picked upon the deadlines. For example, the opening is in winter. It's already there, like winter 26 is coming. And this one is in November. So this one's Cypher, Global Scholar Programs. They haven't yet specifically told about Pakistani universities, but any of the researcher or scholar within Pakistan University, they can actually collaborate. So there's a whole list of the scholars and researchers over there from Canada and actually North America that you can connect. So I thought this will be helpful. Okay, so yeah. And that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah, for sure. And so, and at the end, I just want to thank you, everybody, and to be here, and thanks, Mr. Kashif. He really helped this program to mature and to conduct in a good way, and he was going actually off the, limits to actually make this happen. So thank you so much. Yeah, and I would say that you should participate in IEEE. When I see globally, I see Pakistani students, they don't have much of the participation. And there's so many of the opportunities because when you connect to somebody, you don't know where that connection will take you. So attend these events and try to participate and try to gain benefit from there. Because so much of the funding, Kashif Sahab can tell you more, what I see from the top, we don't get in Pakistan, reason being because we are not active. If just one person being active or 2 person being active is not going to help. So when you have a voice, when you participate, you have a voice in the international forums, then that means you are able to, you can be the decision makers on the international forum for your country. So participate in this. And even small thing matters. You will think that, okay, why attending and how attending an IEEE event will make my country proud. It does make country proud. Okay, thank you so much.
ये स्क्रीन पर करना. Thank you. अब बैठे.
इसको आप
मैं डिलीट कर
लगा दूँगा। तो इसमें 2-3 मेरी काम की स्लाइड्स हैं जो कि मैं किसी मुश्किल में नहीं पढ़ना चाहती फिर।
ठीक है
चलो, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू शिफ्ट डिलीट प्रोजेक्टर बंद कर
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima Hussain, for the brilliant lecture. Now we'll proceed for the MU signing ceremony, making a meaningful collaboration for future innovation and knowledge exchange. So, now I would like to call on stage Sir Kashif and Dr. Anila. Okay, sure. MOU signing बाद Okay, so now we have some guests with us. I would like to call Dr. Anila, Director of Faculty and Staff Development Program, UET, to please call up on stage and share a few words with us. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon everyone. First of all, thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to be part of this wonderful talk. I'm really grateful. And as the Director of Faculty and Staff Development Program in UT Lahore, I would like to congratulate IEEE, first of all, for arranging, for organizing this wonderful event. And at the same time, special thanks to Mr. Kashif for the wonderful efforts, excellent efforts he has put in order to make this event a huge success. And I congratulate you all for participating in this event. And special thanks, last but not the least, Professor Dr. Fatima Hussain. Thank you very much for the very highly informative session. Starting from the very basic questions, from the very basic things, to the depth and clarity of the knowledge regarding cybersecurity, and we learned a lot from this. As far as FSEP is concerned, Faculty and Staff Development Program, this program is actually designed to train and empower our faculty and staff members in order to equip them with the latest modern technologies like cybersecurity, Gen AI, and different type of research methodologies for global linkage, international linkages, for academia, industry linkage, so all these things. And we have Director QC with us as well, sir. Thank you very much. जो हमारे बहुत अच्छे partner हैं in everything. और I always mention that it's very much difficult to do something alone. We can't do much alone, but together we can really make a difference, and we will definitely try that because it's no doubt a collective effort. And आप सबके लिए मैं ये कहूँगी कि जैसे मैडम ने कहा, प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर फातिमा ने कि you have to do Pakistani, they can do a lot. पाकिस्तान में we have excellent talents. और मैं आपको एक चीज़ to be perfectly honest with you, बहुत सारे मुल्कों में मैं भी गई हूँ, मेरी PhD UCL लंदन से है, फुलब्राइट अमेरिका से है, और भी बहुत सारी कंट्रीज में जो है वो एज प्रेजेंटर जाते रहते हैं और एज कोलैबोरेटर जाते रहते हैं. मैंने जो ब्रेन हमारे बच्चों का चलता है, हमारे पाकिस्तानियों का चलता है, जो हमारा माइंडसेट है और जो हम क्विक हैं इन लर्निंग, मैंने टू बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू, मैंने अंग्रेज़ों में या इधर उधर कहीं भी जाके नहीं देखा. उनका दिमाग एक खास टाइम के बाद बंद हो जाता है. उनको पता है 8 to 4 काम करना है, उसके बाद वो बंद हो जाता है. उसके बाद वो वीकेंड पे अपना जो करना. हमारे जो बच्चे हैं, जो टैलेंटेड हैं और जो वाकई कोई डिफरेंस क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं, रातों को जागते हैं. वो सैटरडे संडे हम नहीं देखते कि ये सैटरडे या संडे है, हमने कहीं टॉक देनी, कहीं आना जाना. तो मेरा आपसे ये कहना है कि प्लीज़ यूज़ योर एनर्जीज फॉर पॉजिटिव पर्पस. चाहे
चाहे वो AI है, चाहे वो security purposes के लिए है, चाहे आपको कोई भी knowledge है, please use them for positive purpose, for constructive purpose. अगर आप अपनी energies को इधर उधर आप अपने लैपटॉप पे होते हैं या मोबाइल पे होते हैं, आपने इंस्टा खोला, अब इंस्टा खोला तो इंस्टा के आगे एक कोई चीज़ मिल गई, कोई ड्रेस पसंद आ गया हमें और हमने वो शुरू किया बच्चियों ने, तो उसके बाद घंटा 2 घंटा कहाँ गए, यू नेवर। सो आप इसको यूज़ करें, ये स्मार्ट है, स्मार्ट टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ वेरी मच हेल्पफुल, बट प्लीज़ ट्राई टू यूज़ दिस स्मार्टर टेक्नोलॉजी टू मेक योरसेल्फ स्मार्टर। ठीक है, अपने आप को स्मार्टर बनाना है, हमें कोई स्मार्ट ऑडिटोरियम, स्मार्ट क्लासरूम्स के हक में नहीं हो, हम किस हक में हैं एज अ टीचर, असातिज़ा, हमने स्मार्ट माइंड्स प्रोड्यूस करने हैं जो कि इन स्मार्ट टेक्नोलॉजी से क्या करें, बेनिफिट हासिल कर सकें। सो विद दिस एम और विद दिस मैसेज, बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ, और अपना जो टाइम है आज से ही, जो यहाँ पे सुन रहे हैं, अगर कोई 0.1% भी किसी पे अफेक्ट करती हैं बातें, या यहाँ से 5 लोग भी जाते हैं, असर होता है, तो आप अपने मोबाइल को यूज़ करें फॉर कंस्ट्रक्टिव purpose only, for positivity only, for your nation, for unity, your global linkages। हम और जो मिस्टर काशिफ हैं और बाकी जो टीम है, उन्होंने जिस तरह से एफर्ट्स करके लेकर आते हैं आपके पास माशाल्लाह इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर्स को, रिसोर्स पर्सन्स को, ठीक है, आपको ट्रेन करने के लिए, आपके साथ कनेक्ट करने के लिए, और जिस तरह से थैंक यू वेरी मच, आपने इतने ज़्यादा लिंक्स बताए एट द एंड ऑफ योर स्लाइड्स, वो जो सारे के सारे लिंक थे, आपको तो चाहिए कि घर जाते ही आप छोड़ दें वो सारे इंस्टा और जाके देखें कि वो जो मैडम ने आपको बताए हैं कि जो लिंक्स हैं जिसके थ्रू यू कैन अप्लाई, यू कैन सी, आप वहाँ पे PhD कर सकते हैं, मास्टर्स कर सकते हैं, जो भी जॉब्स आप कर सकते हैं, तो उनको प्लीज़ उनको देखें, आइडेंटिफाई करें, एनालाइज करें, इन चीज़ों की तरफ ज़्यादा फोकस करें, ठीक है, और अपने ऊपर बिलीव करें, ये याद रखें कि पाकिस्तान की जो है हमारी जो नेशन है, वी कैन डू एनीथिंग, ठीक है, हम कर सकते हैं। बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ, स्टार्ट बिलीविंग इन योरसेल्फ, एंड ट्रस्ट मी, द वर्ल्ड विल स्टार्ट बिलीविंग इन योरसेल्फ एज वेल। सो थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, Dr. Anila, for the quite good words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Amir Aziz, Director, Quality Enhancement Cell, to please come on stage and fuse some words with us.
First of all, I am very thankful to Dr. Fatima for a wonderful and in-depth lecture. As she started from a very basic things and then explain it in detail. Second, I would like to congratulate the KICS for arranging these seminars. So, as a Director Quality Enhancement Cell, right now, because during the lecture I have to go for the strategic planning meeting. Our strategic plan is in making. So in our strategic plan, we are giving a lot of weightage to the digitization. So when we say the digitization, it means the cyber security is also a part of this one. So these kinds of the lectures are very important, and for the awareness, for taking the further actions and on the basis of the knowledge. So I think we should continue with this one. QEC is also a partner with this, holding this lecture. So we can continue this collaboration in the future as well. But right now, as a lot of things has already been highlighted by the Dr. Inla, that as a Pakistanis we can contribute a lot. So I think we should continue with such practices. We should invite especially the IEEE lecturers here. So I think, thank you for this one, and QEC will always encourage with such kinds of the incident as well. Thank you, all of you.
so much, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Kamran Abid, Director, EE Department, Punjab University, to please come on stage and share some words with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I was honestly not aware that I'll be called on stage, but I have lots of appreciations for IEEE, its very vibrant role through the UET platform, and we feel honored in another sense because we have a more stronger relationship with you, that the professor from Punjab University is serving as Vice Chancellor UET Lahore. So I see a lot more things and a more coordinated and collaborative role in the times to come. And I'm really pleased, Dr. Kashif, Dr. Yasir, for your presence. And had we knew all these things well in time, we could have benefited from your presence also. So once again, lots of appreciation for such a accelerated sort of activity at UET, and we all would love to follow your footprints. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Mahtab, HOD, CS Department, University of Lahore, to please come up on stage and share some words with us.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Mehtab. I'm head of CS Department from University of Lahore. First of all, I would like to thank IEEE for organizing such a informative session on cybersecurity. Thanks to Dr. Fatma also. And today we are also here for signing an MOU with Dr. Fatma. And apart from this, we have good collaboration with IEEE. Every year we organize a conference with technical co-sponsorship of IEEE Lahore section. And we always organize brilliant events like this. Thank you very much, sir. Hopefully, we will continue this collaboration in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Farooq, Head of Department, CS, Comsoc University, Lahore. Sir, please come up on stage.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. First of all, I would say thank you to Kashif Sahib and Dr. Yasir Sahib for inviting me. And secondly, I would say thank you for you, Dr. Mariam, for traveling from Canada to Lahore for delivering such a wonderful talk for us. And I must say, this kind of events must be continued in future. And thank you for very much for organizing this.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Atif Alvi, Dean, SST Department, UMT, Lahore.
Thankful to Bashir Bashir Saab, Yasir Saab. The magnetic personalities always attract us here. And the IEEE platform is, of course, another very attractive thing. We come here, we visit here often, invited by them, and IEEE has provided all of us, especially for students, for you to bring your ideas to the fore. So you should be bold. If you have any new idea, IEEE is there to provide you a platform. Plus, the main advantage of this platform is networking. So like they have been able to gather all of us here from different universities of law today, and it's a very good chance to meet up with them. And we are also thankful to Dr. Fatma for her insightful lecture, and we look forward to having an MOU with her as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Ali Hamad, Chair of Computer Engineering Department, to please come up on stage and share his words with us.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi everybody. I have just come across Ma'am Fatima like a minute ago, and I have had an opportunity to listen to her talk. I think it was beyond midway, and I was so pleased. And I was just wondering if she's a UETian, did we overlap in time? But it turned out that she's 2 years senior to us. Is Sir Kashif Javed sitting here? Sir Kashif is not sitting here. We are from 94 session. I'm from NUST, but she's from UET. Back in those days, it was a matter of prestige and kind of an endorsement to one's academic excellence that one secures admission at UET. And I say this to our students that I could not secure admission in the Department of Electrical Engineering at UET Lahore, and only because of that I had to go to NUST. So those who are from UET, I think they should have that kind of uh, pride in a humble way, and that you should get uh, overjoyed with it. Alhamdulillah, I think it's a brand that stays with you for life. Having said this, I feel so happy to be serving here in the capacity of a faculty member for good about 18 years, where we come across students who are just waiting to unleash after they graduate. So during their formative years, they those who are going to make a mark, they actually have that particular kind of they have that kind of talent that we get an opportunity to interact with and groom a little bit. And certainly, they eventually reach whatever is destined for them. So, ma'am is 2 years older to us in terms of age and seniority, and the kind of experience that she's acquired speaks volumes, not only her on her own personal testimonials, but on the part of grooming that she got from UET, Alhamdulillah. And being part of the UET family, I think that I always feel pride in my students who meet us after a decade or so, and then they tell us of their accomplishments, and we get, Alhamdulillah, overjoyed. At the Department of Computer Engineering, we've been doing research. Dr. Yasir Salim Saab is the president of IEEE Computer Society. We've been doing research in cybersecurity and AI, and we've been also doing research on their crossroads. So I think that the MOU that he's going to share on behalf of the department is going to hopefully not let you down. I think you'll be pleased with the kind of work that his team has done over the last 5 years since the inception of the department. It's a relatively nascent department. We came into existence like 5 years ago. So, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll be moving to the MOU signing ceremony. For that, I would like to call up on stage Dr. Fatima Hussain and
Dr. Atif Ali को बुला लो.
ma'am, please come up on stage. And now I would like to call Dr. Atif Alvi to please come up on stage for the MOU signing. चलिए अच्छा पहला ये 2 3 4 5 6 उसके बाद ये सब ठीक
सबको जनरल के बुला लें.
to call Dr. Matab to please come up on stage for MOU signing.